Hello students, welcome to Power Tutorials. So today we're going to do section B of 2025 Science 31/1/1 solution paper. Okay, so just give me 2 minutes and let's find out whether audio everything is fine. So in the previous video we have covered first, that is MCQ section A questions, MCQs as well as assessment reasons of 2025 31/1/1, that is last year first set paper has been covered. So in this video, as I mentioned, today we are going to cover all the questions related to section B. Okay, so for biology questions I have already written my answers. I will explain those answers, whereas for physics and chemistry I am going to do live, because for biology, as you know, it is completely theoretical, so don't want to waste time while writing the answers, but I will explain what is the content behind that, writing that points. Okay, you can see these are the answers for biology questions. For physics and chemistry I have kept it blank, so those I will solve it while along with in this live session. So for section B we have total 6 questions, that is from 21 to 26. So we'll solve one by one. So first of all, I welcome you all to my channel, which is Power Tutorials. So in this channel I am explaining about science and maths subjects concepts related to class 10 CBSE. So and in the previous few, every week I will solve at least 1 or 2 live sessions and 1 or 2 recording sessions, and daily 2 MCQs will be coming from my channel where you can find maths MCQ and physics, science MCQ questions in the post sections. Okay, so if you are interested to solve at least daily 1 or 2 MCQs, you can check my post section of the channel where you can find the MCQs as well. Okay, so let's start with very short answers questions for today. So whoever are joining, just keep a like so that it will be motivating for me to solve more and more such videos. And if you like the content, you can subscribe it, but at least I suggest, if you are watching till end, at least do like the video so that it will be motivation for me and I can do more number of questions as this. Okay, so let's start with the first question. A student performs the following experiment in his school laboratory, and the experiment is, we have zinc granules and dilute sulfurochloric acid in a funnel, in a test tube kind of funnel. So list 2 observations to justify that in this experiment a chemical change has taken place. Okay, so this kind of question will be coming definitely for sure in 2 marks questions. They can ask you what are the things is required for chemical change to happen or chemical reaction to happen, and they can ask you, like given an example, what are the things you have found in this experiment to confirm whether it is a chemical reaction. Okay. So generally, what are the things to confirm whether a chemical change has happened? So first one is, so this is not related to the question, but it can occur for similar questions. So we have 4 things. First one, change in color. If any change in color happens in the reaction, we call it as chemical change has happened. Second, change in temperature. It can be increase or decrease. And then we have evolution of gas. And the fourth one is formation of precipitate. So in among these 4, if at least one happens, then we can confirm that reason chemical change has happened in this reaction. But for this question, we'll see what are the things happening among these four, what are the two things happens to confirm whether it is a chemical change has happened. So for this reaction, what is the first one is there is an evolution of gas. Evolution of gas happens when zinc granules react with dilute sulfuric acid and the gas here is released is H2 gas. Okay, so what will happen is after some time there will be a bubbles formation. So those bubbles will come out and exit from this like opening, which is H2 gas. So first one is that. Second change is increase in temperature. Increase in temperature happens for this reaction when zinc granules are reacted with dilute sulfuric acid, and this is the second change because I told you here change in temperature and here the change in temperature is increase in temperature. Okay, so what is the reaction? They haven't asked in the question, but if they ask you what should be the reaction, it should be Zn plus 2HCl gives rise to ZnCl2 plus H2. So H2 is the gas here which is evolving, and this reaction is a displacement kind of reaction where the metal will displace hydrogen and hydrogen will be coming out. Okay, so in this reaction what is happening? Heat is getting increased. I mean there is an increase in temperature and there is an evolution of gas. So both the things are happening. This way we can confirm whether it is a chemical reaction. Okay, let's move to the second one, which is 22nd question. So this is a biology question. So I have written the answer, but I will explain that answer now. Wait, sorry, we have one more question, but yeah, this is 22nd question. So there, what is the question? They are asking draw labeled diagram to show different stages of budding in hydra. Okay, so this is the hydra diagram where it has some tentacle kind of structures, and so what will happen? The first stage it will form a small kind of opening here. So this is stage 1. In the stage 2, what will happen? From that opening there will be a bud kind of creation. So bud is nothing but the smallest portion of hydra. Okay, so what will happen to this bud? In the third stage, this bud will grow to a new hydra structure, and after some time this whole part will be broken down and grown as a new tentacle or new hydra. Okay, so in this question they are only asked, they have only draw labeled diagrams. They are not asking the explanation how the hydra is getting created. Okay, so if they just ask like this, you can simply say, so draw this kind of 3 diagrams. Okay, so in this question they are only asked. So you have to just draw 3 diagrams, step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1, in this hydra, you have to say that step 1 it will create a small kind of opening. In step 2, a bud will be formed at that kind of opening, and this bud will grow to a new hydra in the third step, and this new hydra will be broken down and grown as a new hydra. Okay, so if you draw all 3 diagrams and if you have to mention the parts, then definitely you get 2 marks. Okay, let's move to the 23rd question. So 23rd question we have, they're asking 2 things, first 1 and 2. The first one, the transport system in plants is relatively slower than animals, give reasons. If you understand the human or any animal, so what will happen is we have a transport system, and the main body part of the transport system is heart. So what heart is doing? It will pump, it will collect blood from all the body parts, collect it, and from here it will go to lungs and get oxygenated, and from lungs it will again come back. The oxygenated blood will go to heart. From heart the oxygenated blood will go to the other body parts. So what is happening here? The heart is pumping with high pressure such that it is collecting from all body parts and sending to all body parts. Due to this, the pressure is high, so the transport is also high. What about in plants? In plants it is little slower because it lacks the central pump, which is like heart. So we have to underline the most important points because invigilators will get very less time to correct your questions. So whenever you have biology kind of theoretical type of questions, main points you better to underline, so they'll simply see the underlined point and give you full marks. Okay, so and they rely on processes called diffusion or osmosis, which is like a pressure variant. So they will increase or decrease the pressure such that the fluid or the materials will move from high pressure to low pressure because of that pressure variation. Okay, so I'm repeating the first point again. Why the transport system in plants is relatively slower? Because they lacks a central pump kind of structure which is like heart for other animals. So whereas in plants we don't have such things. We only have a, they rely on only two processes which are diffusion and osmosis. So transport system in plants, if they ask you what are the main parts, then I can say that we have two things which are phloem and xylem. Okay, so xylem is for water and it flows from roots to all the other body parts, whereas phloem is for food which travels from leaves to other body parts, and this is one directional and it is bidirectional. They can ask you in the question differentiate between xylem and phloem, then you have to say these points. We have two things, xylem and phloem. Xylem is for water transmission and it is from roots to other body parts. Phloem is for food and other materials which transfers from leaves to other body parts. Xylem is unidirectional, phloem is bidirectional. Okay, but in this question they are not asking, so that's why I'm keeping as an oral part. Okay, let's see the second question. State the role of phloem. So I already told you about phloem. So what is the role of phloem? It transports food and other organic nutrients. Okay, so phloem is the one which um, transports sugar and other organic nutrients which are created in which part? From photosynthesis. The food is created at the parts which are leaves, which are green color pigments, which also has chloroplast inside it and chlorophyll. So due to the light energy, water and sunlight, food and other nutrients will be created on in the leaf structure. So from leaves it has to travel to all the body parts. So this is happening through which one? Which is happening through phloem. So if they ask you about phloem, you have to simply say that it transports sugar and other organic nutrients from leaves to other body parts, and this process is called as translocation. Whereas for xylem, if they ask you what is the process which is happening in xylem, you have to say it is transpiration. And repeating again, for xylem it is transpiration, whereas for phloem it is translocation. Translocation is for food, transpiration is for water. Next, move to the next one. So this is physics question, so I will solve it live. An object is placed at a distance of 60 centimeters from concave lens. So this is a lens question. For concave, the focal is always negative, whereas for convex it will be positive. Okay, so here the distance, object distance is always negative because we, as per sign convention, we always give object to the left side of the mirror, so hence we consider it as negative. So u is minus 60. Concave lens, okay, focal length is 30, so as I told you, for concave it is always negative, so f is minus 30 centimeters. Use the lens formula to find the position of the image formed. So we need to find v. So what is lens formula? 1 by v minus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f. If the same question, if they ask for mirror, what will be the formula? For mirrors, the formula is 1 by v plus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f. Always remember, this is for mirror formula, and in this question it is lens, so this is lens formula. Okay, let's substitute 1 by v minus 1 by u value is minus 60 is equal to f value is minus 30. So 1 by v is equal to minus 1 by 30, minus minus plus, so it again goes from right side, so it becomes again minus. So 1 by v is equal to minus 60 minus 90, which is minus 90 by 1800, 9 ones 920s. So the v value is minus 20. So what is the position of the image found? Position of the image is 20 centimeters to the left of lens. Why to the left of lens? Because we got the value as negative. So negative is always to the left side of lens. So if you draw a diagram, it will be somewhat like this. So we have the object here. So at this point, the image will be created. Okay, so let's move to the next question. So again physics, another question. This is 24th question. 24th is done. 25th question, and here we have A or B, so we can either solve A or B. Okay, we have an options. So in your question paper we can have options for not only section section B, we can have in other sections as well. So they can be A or B. So whichever you answers first will be considered for marking, even though the second answer might be right. Okay, so always focus on whichever you're confident that question you solved it first, and whichever you have a time and if you want to solve a question you can solve it, but still I'm repeating, the second question will not be considered for marking, only the first answer will be considered for mark. Okay, let's solve this. A wire of resistance R is cut into 3 equal parts. Okay, so with this R is cut into 3 parts, which are R by 3, R by 3, R by 3. We have 3 things. If these parts are joined in parallel, so now we have the connections just like this: R by 3, R by 3, and another R by 3. Find the total resistance for combination. For parallel connection, what is the circuit formula? 1 by R effective is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So here all R1, R2, R3 are same, which are 1 by R by 3 plus 1 by R by 3 plus 1 by R by 3. So simply it is 3 by R by 3, which is 9. 3 if goes to the top, it becomes 9 by R. So 1 by R effective is equal to 9 by R. So simply R effective I can say, which is R by 9. So this question is important. This can be asked in another way also. They can give you one resistor is cut into 3 parts. What about in series? If the same question if they ask in series, then I will tell you the answer. For R series, it is R1 plus R2 plus R3. So which will be R by 3 plus R by 3 plus R by 3. So this value will become R again. Whereas for series, it is R. Whereas for parallel, it become R by 9. It further divided by 3. Because for parallel circuit, 1 by R effective is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Whereas for series, R effective is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay. Next, let's move to the B part, that is also related to physics. So as I told you, A or B can only solve. We should only solve only one, and if you have to, you can solve it, but still the second will not be considered for mark. Okay. So what is define electric power? So electric power is defined as the rate of energy consumed or dissipated. Okay, so as per definition, we call power is equal to energy by time, or joules per second. So joules per second, the SI unit is watt. Okay, so when do we say that the power consumed in electric circuit is 1 watt? For this second point, power is 1 watt if 1 ampere is flowing through a circuit having potential difference of 1 volt. Okay, so this I am writing here itself. So 1 watt is nothing but 1 ampere into 1 volt. Okay, ampere is for current. 1 ampere is 1 ampere current, whereas 1 volt is a 1 voltage of potential difference. So what is the power of 1 watt? You have to say that power of 1 watt is a circuit where it has 1 ampere of current flowing through a circuit having a potential difference of 1 volt. Okay, now let's move to the last question, which is 26th question. This is the 26th question. These are again related to biology. So I have written the answer, but I will explain those points. So 26th question is, excessive use of chemicals and pesticides in agriculture adversely affect the environment. Justify the statement. So what happens if excessive use of chemicals and pesticides are done? So we have to, for this type of question, we have to answer in this way so that it will be very easy for the invigilator to correct it. We have to say that excessive use of chemicals and pesticides adversely affect the environment by, and mention the points. The first one, contaminating soil and water. So what is contaminating soil and water? So what are the pesticides or soil? If it is there in soil, so what will happen? The proportions of the soil gets changed. So the nitrogenous or the other materials which is important for soil will not be there, and the water will get contaminated, means it will get polluted. So simply this is pollution. Second, causing eutrophication. So what is causing eutrophication? Means some kind of oil or substance, if you keep on water, what will happen means the some kind of layer will be present on the water. So what is happening to this? The atmospheric oxygen which is there will not enter the water, and there will no exchange of gases happens. Due to this, there will be lack of oxygen. Oxygen levels will be decreased in the water. So due to this, the aquatic animals or plants which are present inside the water will die. Okay, so that was nothing but eutrophication. Next, disturbs ecosystems. So the cycle or the plants or animals or even birds, they cannot live properly if they get exposed to chemicals and pesticides. Okay, so like for example, if high pesticides are done on agriculture and that that leaves or plants are eaten by any goat or other animals, so those will get affected. So due to this, the system is getting affected. Okay, reducing biodiversity is the reduction of population. So you might have seen that many birds are getting extincted, and even few animals are also getting extincted. So why this is happening? So why? Because of the pollution and because of the chemicals and pesticides in agriculture, and those are getting eaten by the goats or even birds. So those are getting dead because of the excessive use of chemicals and pesticides. If it is in minor quantity, then nothing will get affected, but as I mentioned, this question, it is excessive use of pesticides. If excessive is there, then they cannot bear such things and they can die. Okay, so you have to say the reduced biodiversity, disrupts ecosystems, causing eutrophication, and then the last one is contaminating soil and water. Okay, so in this way, all the very short answer questions have been solved. In the next video, we'll solve short answer questions, okay, which is of 3 marks, and mostly I'll try to keep it as a live session as today, or else I'll keep it as a recording session, and mostly by tomorrow 8 p.m. we will be able to get this video. Okay, so thanks for watching till the end, and hope you liked it. And if you like this content, please do like, and you can check my channel for further videos, and hope if you're coming from 10th class background, I'm sure that at least few videos will be helpful for you. Okay, and also check MCQs in the post section, because daily 2 MCQs I'm keeping, and those will be regularly help you and keep you updated as per the standard. Okay, so thank you. Let's join again tomorrow, either in live or in a recording session. Thank you so much.